that the way you wanted to win that game?
Oh, I'll take every win. I will take every win. They were missing a few guys, or 4 or 5 maybe even. Pretty good team without those guys. Yeah, just goes to show you the depth that they have. That's going to be a heck of a series with Dallas, and I'll take that win all day long.
A little loosey-goosey in your own zone today?
I guess at times we felt that way. Probably not as tight as we typically are, especially in D zone, but they're going to make some plays, and they're going to test you no matter what. And it wasn't all game, but there were some moments where a few things uncharacteristic, but like I said, we didn't want to overreact during the game. We knew that it's a good opponent, and we found a way to get it done.
We talk a lot about all of the different things that Laferriere does. Is it nice to see those little things get rewarded with his first career three-point day?
Yeah, I thought he was a key player tonight. I guess obviously he ends up on the score sheet, but you just thought he had some jump tonight. He was physical. You know, he's been a little bit under the weather probably the last while. I think it's carried on. He looked a little stronger, a little more like himself tonight, and I don't think he has over the last couple of weeks. But good game for him. He's going to be a really important player for us in the playoffs because he's got to bring physicality, and he started that tonight.
You guys dropped down to 5D. That was coach's decision, correct?
Yeah.
Is it tough for a guy like Burrows who hasn't played a lot, doesn't play well early, takes a couple cuts? Is it tough to sit him given what he's going through this season?
It is.
Play 20 minutes a night.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's no question. We that's certainly not the plan going in, but you got to make a decision at some point during the game. And again, I've talked about Burr before. Just what a teammate. You know, you hate to see it. All of us were in there going. But we got to make a decision we think is in the moment the best thing for the team to do one thing: win the hockey game. You know, and different nights, different things happen, but you got to win the hockey game. That's the priority one.
Brandt Clarke plays his 100th career game tonight. He started off the season strong, filling in for Doughty. Then he had to take a seat back a little bit. Now he's coming back on the top line. What have you seen from his game kind of throughout the year? Seemed to become a strong one tonight.
He did, yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about him quite a bit. I mean, he had, you come in and it's early and the game was a little bit different, and we got to see some of his offensive skills for sure, which got us all really excited. We know that'll be coming in the future. And then the game tightens up and the grind of the season comes in, and there's not as many offensive plays to be made, so then you got to be a little stronger defensively because you can't make up for it with your offensive plays. So, he went through a couple scratches. I don't know how many times he got scratched. Since he's been back, he's built his game back up again. And I don't know if he even asked him, he would probably tell you that his attention to detail defensively, he's improved. And that was an important part. And it's difficult to make plays as a defenseman offensively this time of the year, but we saw tonight, and this is the beauty of the game, he makes a great play on Laf's goal, he gets an assist. He makes a really good play on Kopitar's goal, doesn't get an assist. Well, in our books, we account for it a little bit differently, and we respect the play he made there. And equally as important, if I take you back to, it was 3.5 on 1, and he read the play, Kempe chased the puck, Brandt went back inside, ended up blocking the shot. They had a really good chance in the second period that he cleaned up. Equally as important as those offensive plays he made. So that's, to me, is where the growth in his game is. And you get it on both sides, and now you really start to contribute to the team.
Jim, Brandt just asked his confidence. He's taken a hit all this year with everything that's happening. It's pretty emphatic no from him.
No, nothing is going to take his confidence away. I can tell you that for sure. And that's a compliment. You have to have that if you want to really climb where he wants to get to. It's hard, and so you have to believe in yourself. The most important person to believe in is yourself.
Does it make it easier as a coach to maybe scratch him or have him play games where he doesn't get to 10 minutes, knowing that you're not going to crush his confidence and still bounce back?
No, I don't think it makes it easier, but it's a good quality for him to have, and I've talked about it with him. He shakes it off pretty easily, and he comes back hard. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. We like that. And not everybody can do it, but that's a positive thing for him.
In the third period, you went back to the 5-man power play unit up 4-2. You think about maybe doing something more conservatively, or how important is it for that group to get as many reps as possible heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, we've gone back and forth on that, and you know, what happens sometimes is you don't go with 5, you go with 4, and then you don't score. They come back and score, they score again, and now you're going 4-4. Why didn't we try to score? So, I mean, I've been on both sides of it, right? And then sometimes you leave them out there and they get a shorthanded goal against. And you're like, why did we have 5 forwards out there? So it's easy to look back, but, you know, those guys are going pretty good right now. So, you know, we'll give them the trust to get out there and try and get us another one.
Did you see more, just to follow up on that, did you see more tonight, you know, just sort of building on, you know, what you've seen for the last 2 or 3 games that gives you confidence that this is the unit you want to?
On the power play?
on the
Yeah.
power play?
Yeah, I mean, we probably got a little stagnant tonight, and Colorado probably got a good look at it going into coming off the Anaheim game. And I thought they did a good job on the penalty kill. So we probably got to get a little more movement in there at some point, but no, good. Kevin makes a great play. You know, we'll take it. So we'll keep that thing rolling.
One thing I noticed with this personnel tweak is that you got Byfield kind of in the bumper, getting him more low ice, and then Kuzmenko off to the side. How much of that is trying to get you that prime real estate for Q, and how much of it is taking advantage of Kuzmenko's playmaking, which has been unexpectedly good, I think,
Right.
for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, primarily it would be Kuzmenko because he's you know, we've talked about it quite a bit this year. He's the righty, right? A right-handed guy, and we have 4 lefties there now. And so it's the easier pass from the righty to pass to the lefties. It's a more dangerous shot. It happens more naturally. So, yeah, it would primarily would be for Kuzmenko. But it's nice to have Q in there. Q can screen the goalie. Tip pucks obviously finished the other night from that in-tight spot and had a really good look again in it was the second period, right? Same spot, same type of goal, but a good save by the goalie.
What was going through your head when Kemper went for the shot? It seemed like he kind of hesitated
Yeah.
a little bit.
Not the same thing that was going through everybody else's head where they were all excited. I'm here to win the game. So and I didn't know if that was the best decision to win the game in that moment. It happened. Everybody else was pretty excited about it. I was not. I'll tell you that.
A couple times standing in front, is that what you're talking about?
Well, sorry?
They were right in front of him too.
Yeah.
I think it's knocked down.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
All 3 players.
Coaches don't always think of the good outcomes. They're aware of the negative outcome.
All 3 players on Quentin's line have career high in goals. For Quentin, it's the only thing that he needs to add consistency at this point.
No, I think he's been pretty consistent. I mean, he got off to a really slow start offensively. Is that what we're going with, or just recently, or just
Just
overall? No, I know. No, I would say Q's pretty consistent, or he certainly has been for the second half of the season. I would say for sure. He you know, some nights he's better than others, like all players. He works every night, so I have no issues with his consistency. I think he's got a lot to grow still in his game, though. I really do. I think you can say it's a really good season, a great second half. There's still things he can do better, that he's capable of doing better. And, you know, we want it all right now, but it'll come. It'll come. He's got a long ways to go.
What's
It's going to
the
be.
one thing if you had to choose that he needs to do better?
Well, I'm not going to answer that. There's too many, to be honest with you. I've got a lot of things, but I got to be patient with it. But he's a good player, and he'll get there. Wherever he is going, he's going to get there because he's committed to getting there.
Jim, you've been a part of some good teams since coming over to LA, but does this feel like the most well-balanced team you've been a part of with the high-end skill, you have the physicality and size over the offseason, really good goaltender, Darcy? Is the most well-balanced team you've seen yet?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been some good teams, right? A different makeup. I think this team is maybe a little bigger. I think that's where we'll start with that. I think a little bigger. I think a little older. With respect to like Q, when I just think back for his first couple of years, Laf was a rookie last year, so I think those two have pretty important roles. They're a year older. Spenny is a year older. Clarke's still young, so we have young players in the lineup, but they just feel a little bit more mature.
As close as we are to the playoffs now, where do you put your special teams, as important as that is, when it's crunch time?
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, well, penalty kill we've been really happy with all year. So that's a change in system from one year to the next, and we like the results so far. Power play, well documented, I'm sure, by you guys, has struggled pretty much all year. But and I don't know percentage-wise, and there's small sample since Kuzi's been here, but it's getting better, and I think we feel pretty good about it now. And this is the time of the year to start feeling good about it.
First game back for Turcotte, didn't seem to have a ton of hesitation in his game. What did you see from him and how he fit with those 2 guys?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't play a lot, but Turk was in on pucks. It was kind of like expected. Malott again had another really good chance. He seems to get one a night for sure. I'd like to see one drop for him. But yeah, Turk was Turk. He just did his thing. Just didn't get a whole bunch of opportunity.
You guys now go on the road in Edmonton on Monday. Depending on the matchup tomorrow with their game against Winnipeg, kind of could change the outlook, I guess, in terms of home ice.
Yeah.
Would that have any effect on the lineup decisions you guys have on Monday's game?
I don't know. It's a fair question, Russell. I just don't. I don't know. You know what I mean? We're looking at it's going to be a really big hockey game, and we're going to have to be, have our best lineup, and it's going to be a good game. That's kind of just the way we can look at it right now. So I don't know if things will change.
Drew and Eddie travel with you.
I'm not sure.
The last few games kind of showcased Gavrikov for you as far as no Drew, no Edmondson, and he's getting a lot of minutes. It seems like he's kind of all over the place.
I can't talk about Gavi without talking about Mikey. I can't talk about Mikey without talking about Gavi. From the beginning of the year, where we lost Drew, and those two, for me, and Mikey didn't start great, but they stabilized our back end. The two of them, started the year where there were 29 minutes and 28. They helped us get our footing underneath us. So I don't like to speak about one without the other, and they both, have had better seasons than I think I could have imagined, either of them having them. Now they've set the bar for where they're at, and they've got to keep going that way, but they've just been terrific in so many ways.
Joint team MVP.
They'd be in the conversation. So, whatever your conversation is, they better be. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's not talk about Fight Club too much, right? What's that?
Backbone.
Backbone. Yeah, you guys can sort that out.